Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Swerve71 and today I'm going to show you how I make my thumbnails. So for starters, I use Gmod to make my thumbnails, believe it or not. And so I'm just going to give you a rundown. I'm going to make a really simple thumbnail for my next video. Well, maybe not that simple, but I would go to the workshop, look for a map that matches what video I'm making. For example, I'm making a battlefield video right now, so I would choose a background that matches Battlefield. However, there's not too many good ones on the Gmod. Like, as much as I like Gmod, it does sometimes lack in some areas for certain things. You could literally just find any map and just add your characters there, and you can make it into that map. Like, you can just get like a grassy field and put World War. You know what? Go to the workshop. Go to map. Search up fucking grassy field. A little too low res, so we can go to roleplay. You can start searching, getting more specific here. Let's do realism. Search up other World War I maps. Okay, let's try this. So I also got some British player models, some Battlefield 1 weapon models, some more melee props, and then also these lever action I wanted because I used it in my video. And then I got the essential powers and then some barbed wire because you never know. Try to always like get a not too dark of a map too, because then it kind of I've made that mistake before with some of my thumbnails where I get too dark of a background and you can't really tell what the image is supposed to be, so then you have to add extra lighting and shit. So, ooh, okay, yeah, I could work with this. I could do here maybe. Then this is the another part about this is that I have we have this entire area to work with, so it's all about finding the best spot for this. Kind of want something with water. If I put a prop, will it? I have a pretty big monitor, so your Gmod is not gonna look like this. It's gonna look way smaller than this. Let's try one of these British player models. Alright, cool. I haven't done a reflection shot, so maybe I think camera comes with the game. So it's just let's say I want like right here so I can get like a good shot. Bam. Now, I placed the camera down, and think of this as just a digital camera, like literally a digital camera. So, for me, I have my camera key as the bracket. I have it as the left bracket, so I don't have static camera on because I don't want to move it. But you put that on if you don't want to like move it at all. But sometimes you set up a shot, and it's me. You set up a shot, and then it's maybe you don't like how it looks afterwards, so you just like try to adjust it. Like, for example, if I'm like that player model and I don't like how little space I'm taking, then I can like adjust the camera so that it looks good. I like that. I do like how the reflection is. That's actually really cool. So now that I have my camera down, I can actually focus on getting these models up. So when you pick your models, they're going to be ragdolls at first. And if you don't know what a ragdoll is, it's just, when an enemy dies or something in a game, like in Fallout, they turn into a ragdoll. So there's not really much you can do. Some people will like try to like do like freezing and shit and like try to set up a pose or whatever. Anyways, but I find that like too difficult, too time consuming, and I already take a lot of time doing these, so that's saying something. So what I do instead is I use this thing called a stand pose tool. It's an add-on. You can go into the workshop, look in the tools, search up stand pose, and it should pop up. And the thing is, if you've never played Garry's mod, you can't use two tools at the same time. You have to use one at a time. So once you're done setting up your camera, then switch to the stand pose. Pick which model you want, and bam, standing right there. Wherever you click it, it'll be basically flat-footed right where you put it. If it's like uneven ground, I think it adjusts itself. Nope, never mind. It does not. So yeah, but it will basically stick them to the ground where you want. Not like permanently. You could still move them. But however, now you have a better idea of what your shot's gonna look like. Pretty neat, huh? But obviously, this would be too lazy of a screenshot. Like they just look like, you know, like you got like two Lego dudes and you can like smash them together. No. You want to add some life to them. So that brings me into the second tool, Ragdoll Mover. Now Ragdoll Mover is also another tool you can get, and the same thing. Once you pick where you want them to stand, that's where they'll stand. However, let's say you don't like where this is put, and you don't like how it looks on camera. So what you can do, basically how this tool works is, if you're familiar with like, you know, video game stuff, you know that all these models have bones in them. You go to the pelvis and say you don't like where he's standing here. Let's just move him a bit further. Move him a bit back. Maybe put him face to face. Bada bing, bada boom. Not too shabby, huh? But you see what I mean? The camera looks nice. I actually like how this looks. However, there is still a bit too far for my taste. So let's just move him a bit more over here. Still not perfect, but I like it a lot better. Ooh, and now you see his feet's off than where it's supposed to be. I gotta stay away from the water. The feet's not touching the ground, his foot's too far into the ground, so. Alright, the angle is kind of bothering me now, so, which it shouldn't, because if you have like a normal 16:9 monitor, this wouldn't be an issue, but the thing is though, I have a ultra wide monitor. So whenever I try to do photos, I try to keep everything in the center as much as possible. Because if I don't, then I'll have to adjust it, and then the FOV kind of changes, you know. Stuff starts to cut off, stuff doesn't start to look right. So I just, instead of like, obviously I'm gonna like get rid of this space, so I'm not like worried too much what's over here. Same thing over here. I don't really care what's too much over here. Everything I care about is over here in the middle, right where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera. But anyways, now you see it looks about the same, but I think it looks a little bit better. Maybe if we just fly up and not have to dig around too much. You could also look at the camera too while you're changing it, so you can have like a better idea what it's gonna look like. You hold, if you like, I'm like speaking like everybody has played Gmod. I feel like most people have played Gmod, but if you haven't, left click basically lets you grab stuff like the camera, and then right click while you hold left click. You hit right click and that freezes whatever you want in place. So for example, I want to make it so that It's one of these soldiers is gonna be beating the other one with a shovel, which you can do in Battlefield. So we're gonna go with the shovel. See, pick it up with left click, freeze it with right click, and let's say you want to move it. You just hold E while holding left click, and you can drag it with the mouse. You can move it to however you want. Gonna be swinging it, so maybe freezing it like that is fine. Put this over here, give it to this guy, why not? I think the shovel's American though, or I don't think it really matters. Yeah, no, he's gonna get hit in the face with that shit. Also, if you don't like how some models look, if you hold C and then right click on them, you can actually go and change. Yeah, there you go. Make him look more like a World War I soldier. Might be too much now. But I think that looks better. Yeah. Yeah, I like that look a lot more. Okay. So now that you have your characters how you want, I don't think I can really change them too much. So now that you have a general idea of what you want your thumbnail to look like, it's time to actually start getting these guys into position. So I'm tired of hearing the water. So I'm thinking maybe he's like in the middle of the process of getting this guy. So we'll tilt him. Yeah. Always go back to the camera so you have an idea how it looks. Sometimes the way you model a character from your point of view looks a hell of a lot more different than the camera's point of view. Just an FYI, a little tidbit. I think there's just water everywhere. I'm right-handed, so I make most of the people I animate right-handed, so. I could also just abandon the whole water idea and like put the camera. You see, like this is the thing about why my thumbnails take so long is that I overthink this shit, because I'm like, I like how this looks, but it would be cool if I can like move the angle. So what I usually do is I take a picture from both angles. I'll do that later, but I'm just like ranting right now. So usually when you do these kind of things, I would like to have like a reference picture. Usually it would either be like a meme, try to like model the characters into a meme, or I will try to just use like a movie picture, just like a average pose, and try to like copy that to get the characters. Like, but also what I did was you don't need to do this. This is just kind of extra for me that I bought this like little plastic mannequin kind of toy, I guess. And I think like artists are still, it's like one of those like wooden mannequins like artists use to like pose and practice drawing like poses and stuff. So I basically did that, but I got one of these plastic ones that I like to use to like kind of, it's because like this thing is kind of like slow to model, right? Like just to move the arm I have to do like this whole thing, and then it's like I can do that, and then I can get an idea of what kind of pose I want, or with like this toy I can manipulate it and then like get an even better idea of what I want the pose to look like, because then I'll actually like get a better idea of like how the person's supposed to like be balanced and whatnot. Kind of, not all the time. So now I got this like pose going on, and it's not like always 100%. I just more use it like an idea of what I want. Like, oh, maybe I can make it look like this, and then once I actually start moving the model, I realized there's some limitations to models. Some models you can move them however you want and they'll look good, but then other models is where it gets tricky, because then they're not really like, no discredit to the people who port them over to Gmod. It's just some of them don't do too good of a job, and then when you try to move the model too much, the textures start stretching, and not moving like the way they're supposed to move, and then they look kind of weird, and it's just like, it's obvious this is supposed to be a player model, not like posing model, but you know, you make it work. So I want to do. No, kind of turn to the side. So I don't know, know. For example, I'm not an expert, but I take a couple classes in like MMA, so I know like how to turn hips or aspects and ninja, so it's like small details you'll start to learn. That's like key one. You there? Hey, Mr. Swerve 71 here. So my camera stopped recording, so I didn't record the rest of it. But I just wanted to say that you can take as many angle pictures as you need. But yeah, that's it. Sorry for not recording the rest of it. I really wish I could, but I kind of did the rest of it without recording, so now this is what I have to work with. But anyways, so I didn't want to leave my tutorial half-assed, so I'm back here at the cinema. Color background by Raylix91. I recommend this map for green screen. So like it gives you like a bunch of like options to like change the background. I think you could do like white. Oh god, yeah, I could do white. I would do this if it didn't hurt my freaking eyes, so yeah, that's a bit better. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly do a holding tutorial, something I missed out on my last, and also do a little bit of a green screen tutorial, because why not? Let's just do something simple like Joshua Graham holding a Glock. So we're gonna like try to set it up beforehand. Do something like that. And then go to the ragdoll mover. So I didn't explain this, but god damn it. So the ragdoll mover has basically two modes. There's like the axis mode, and then there's the joint mode. They probably have a different name, but that's what I'm calling them. Oh, wait, no, they're right there. It's just move, rotate, and scale. So, move is obviously, you can move the character. Rotate is rotate. Rotate the arm down. Bring this down, move it a little bit sideways, pull the arm up. And like, you can grab from like the axis, like the colored ones. There's the green, red, and blue. Or also you can grab the gray, which is whichever angle you're viewing it at. It's really cool. Anyways, so that's pretty decent. So now we can grab this, go to the move mode, just move it back to the hand. Now you see it's not perfect, so you just go back, rotate, up, up. Now we have that. So just put it down. So now that you have the object near the hand how you want, you can go to the finger poser. Select whichever hand you want, and this is basically what the tool will look like. You'll have the hand, and then you'll have all the joints to move it. However, I will warn you, it is not as perfect as it looks. So just wrap that finger around, bend all that, and Bam, first one down. Joshua practices trigger for discipline. Even while animating, you need to practice trigger discipline. Anyways, yeah. Oh, almost forgot. Yeah, that looks wrong. However. At the right angle, everything looks good. Kinda go hard, not gonna lie. Thou shalt get this cap in your ass. Man. So yeah, that's how you finger pose. And of course, once you do this thing a bit longer, you can actually, like once you have those, you can actually save it as like the Joshua Graham gun in hand. You can also do holding gun. This is the one, another one I have, holding gun. It actually has the finger on the trigger. And I have holding gun 2. They don't all work on the same models, you know? Then I go back to Joshua Graham holding gun. Boom. Good shit. Alright. Guess that's the end of the tutorial, and then off to the editing room. So I'm going to be using Bizart to edit my thumbnails. So what I do is I take the image, resize it to YouTube thumbnail, and then I make sure to fill out the the image. I try to readjust it so that it looks good. This one and some other ones are usually right in the middle is okay. But I'm gonna leave it right there. And then I figured out you can actually lift certain objects off of images. So I used that tool, picked the 2 soldiers up and some extra stuff in the background. Now that I have those 2 lifted up, I can insert a Battlefield 1 title PNG, have that fill up the page, and because I lifted those 2 up, I can now drop the battlefield down, and now those 2 are on top of it. Try to adjust it right more in the center, but it's as good as it'll get. And yeah, that's pretty much how I make my thumbnails. If you have any other questions, you have any comments, leave them down below. So now on the green screen, it's almost the same process. So you're gonna again resize it to YouTube thumbnail. And you're gonna fill out the image. Instead of lifting the image up, because that like creates a blur kind of effect, we're just gonna remove the background. And poof, gone. Now we can replace it with whatever we want. So we're gonna replace it with just a classic gray. Resize it to however we want. Readjust the image so it, looks decent. Doesn't look too bad. Quality is kind of not too good on the recording, but yeah, it is what it is. Save the image and just leave it as that, or you can get creative and just put some text on top. You can try to do what I did last time and put the text under it, but then it won't really be that legible. And plus, the green screen isn't that like good on Bizart. I need to find like a better app or whatever that gets rid of the green screen. But covering it with the text is a good way of making sure that whatever flaws There might be in either the green screen or in the pose that you did. Covering up with text should make it look a little bit better. Not perfect, but better. So yeah, put the text on top, and then you got yourself a thumbnail. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment what you think, if I could do better, what would you do, and yeah, stay hydrated.